Alright, what's going on guys? gdoggcasey here, and I know it's been a long time since I've made a video. This is Wizards of Legend, or Wizard of Legend in the background. Pretty cool roguelite. I'm just going to be sort of dicking around in here, and we'll do a couple runs while I just wanted to do an update. But just to give you a quick overview of this game, it is a roguelike game where you do runs in a randomly generated dungeon, just like a lot of roguelites. And as you go through runs, you accumulate these things that you can see at the bottom of my screen here. I have 2 of these like bluish gems. You collect those, and then you can purchase these things from the store. These are relics, which give you sort of passive bonuses. And these are called Arcana, which are basically your abilities. Down the bottom left, you can see I have some abilities down there. And you know, that's my basic ability. This is my dash ability. This is my standard ability, which is on a bit more of a cooldown. And this is my signature ability, which is just a bit of a stronger move. And when you build up your blue meter, which you can see, it's not building up right now because I'm not hitting enemies, but if I come over here, you can build up your blue meter by just comboing everything and try to max it out. And once it's maxed, you get your signature gets like super powered. So that's sort of the gist. It's a pretty hard game, at least for me. I haven't beaten it yet, although I have beaten the first boss a couple times, and I'm not really expecting to, you know, do a whole bunch of great stuff with this video. But anyway, just wanted to sort of play it in the background while I did a little bit of an update video for you guys, because I know my last time making a video for you guys was, you know, I was trying to change the direction of the channel and trying to be a little bit more consistent, and as you guys could probably tell, that didn't really work out all that well. You know, the same thing that always happened, where I was going through a phase where I thought that I was going to be really into trading card games, and I was into them for a little while, but then I just, as what always happens, I kind of rotated out. I rotated card games out of my everyday game playing activities, and now, you know, I've been going back to Dark Souls. Me and my wife have beaten Dark Souls 3. And now we're going through Bloodborne. It's my first time ever playing Bloodborne. And I've just really been enjoying playing games out in the living room where the air conditioner is. Because once again, some of you guys might remember back when I was doing Final Fantasy videos all the time, I was complaining about the heat a lot in the summertime in this room that I have my computer in, because of the fact that it gets really hot in here, and I can't really bring an air conditioner in here if I want to record videos, because as soon as I add the air conditioning to the room, then that's all you guys can hear. And it's already showing me that my mic is going kind of crazy, and I think it's because somebody's mowing a lawn outside. I've had to turn off all the fans and close the window, and, you know, after a certain amount of time, it gets musty as hell in here. Alright, I'm 1 coin down from being able to pick up some of those, so we'll come back later. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's not really the greatest recording situation for me in the summertime, because I have a hard time getting the sounds quiet. You know, if there's people outside mowing lawns, and my mic picks all of that shit up for some reason. You know, and then if I want to have a fan on, you guys can hear it, and if I want to have an air conditioner on, you guys can hear it. And it just doesn't really add up to a good recording studio, you know, in the summertime. Because even with all of that, even if I could get the sound to be good enough to, you know, make videos for you guys, I just end up getting way too hot after a while. Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Shit. I just traded out my, one of my Arcana, and now we're gonna get basically a random one. Let's take that one. Fueled Berserk isn't terrible. It gives me basic attack movements, or basic attack speed, which you can then use to basically murder everybody. But the problem is that it's on a bit of a long cooldown, and it took away one of my range attacks. So that sucks. I'm not the happiest with that. But as you can see, we can still do okay, even though we don't have the ranged icicles. So yeah, I mean, I said I was going to get into, you know, making a whole bunch of videos about trading card games, and then I just, almost as soon as I got started, I kind of lost interest. And I guess it was because of a few things. I've been going through some... Okay, this is going to sound worse than I mean it, and I don't actually mean it in this bad way, because there are people in this world who suffer from much more severe, you know, mental situations, I guess, than I do, right? I don't have, like, a mental disability or anything like that. This is not what I'm trying to say. But as I've been getting older, I've been starting to feel more and more like I'm going through, or like I will be going through, some sort of weird midlife crisis, because there are parts of my lifestyle that I really don't like. And then there are parts of it that, you know, I want to change. And then there are some parts of my lifestyle that maybe aren't necessarily good for me, but I still don't really want to change because I need certain things. So, okay, hold on. Before we get into that, let's figure out what we want to buy. A lot of these I haven't even touched. This is a healing potion. It's pretty basic. I might buy that, but Glove of Midas sounds good. So this is a relic which increases gold gain for all wizards. Multiple gloves do not stack, because you can play co-op in this game. But that's good. I figured getting, you know, extra gold early on in a run would be good, and I have 100 gold more, so I can buy the potion and heal up. And now we can do the boss for this floor. And of course, this is the boss that comes up, is the one that I have basically the most problems with. But anyway, I might just be wording it incorrectly, because like I said, you know, it's been just my own sort of mental state that I haven't really been too happy with. But it's not like I suffer from some sort of, like, you know, mental condition or anything. It's just that I have habits that I don't like that I try to change. And then if I, you know, when I try to make those changes, I just end up feeling depressed and feeling irate all the time and stuff like that. So let's get into that a little bit. Because you guys are going to think this is kind of funny the way that I'm wording it. I haven't really put a lot of thought into this video. I just kind of jumped in to you know, start talking about it, so don't hate me too much. My game was just about to crash there. That was fun. But one thing that is a major part of my lifestyle is smoking weed. Okay? Now, that might not be a huge surprise. A lot of people smoke weed in this world, and, you know, it's not really necessarily a huge deal. But something that I kind of struggle with is, you know, moderation. And, oh, this is an enhanced version of my basic attack, so that's going to be something that I really want to buy. I struggle with moderation. And one thing that was kind of happening a lot was that when I get home from work, I would smoke a bunch and then immediately just everything that I had planned to do, I wouldn't do. And that kind of goes hand in hand with smoking weed, right? For a lot of people. There are lots of people who can smoke and then be the most productive people on the planet. And sometimes I can do that, you know? For example, when, you know, on a particular day where the plan was to clean the whole house, I can smoke and get into a groove and clean the whole house. You know, that's not a problem. But whenever I set plans to record a bunch of videos or, you know, do certain things, sometimes I would smoke a couple bowls and then in my stoned state, I would decide that maybe those videos aren't actually that important, and I'm better off just sort of playing whatever I want and sitting back and, you know, not putting myself into presenter mode. You know, so I can like sit back and play a game and smoke another bowl when I die, or when during a loading screen. That kind of thing is usually what I do on a regular basis. There's some YouTubers out there who do talk about smoking weed and can still be successful either making YouTube videos or streaming. In fact, though, the only one I can really think of off the top of my head is Witwix. And if you like funny gamers and you haven't heard of Witwix, you should check him out. He's pretty funny. He's got a stream and a YouTube channel. And, you know, within 5 minutes of watching him, you'll be able to tell if he is somebody that you would enjoy. But he's definitely a pot smoker and definitely can still maintain, you know, efficiency while recording videos and all that kind of stuff. And it's something that I'm trying to get into. But one of the plans that I had back then was, you know, every time I smoke weed, it makes me not want to record videos, so maybe I should just quit smoking weed. And, you know, to those of you who don't smoke weed, it probably sounds like that is like the obvious answer. The problem is, something else that I've been struggling with on an almost everyday basis is that I'm kind of sick and tired of my job. I do tech support for a major cell phone company in Canada, and I'm getting tired of it. You know, the call center lifestyle is nice. It's good to be able to go into work and sit down and not have to work hard physically. You sit in the air conditioning during summer. You know, there's parts of it that are really good. But let's figure out what we want here. Flashy boots, I don't know what that does. Armor of Greed, I think it has an effect on the cost of things. I think that's sort of... So, okay, first of all, this dude here, he gives you a relic for free. It's got a positive and a negative effect. Tortoise Shield makes me think I'm going to take less damage, but I'll be slower. I'm going to try it. Increases armor, but decreases damage. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so my damage is weaker now. Didn't even know that was possible. But yeah, so one of the other sort of major things I've been kind of struggling with on an almost everyday basis is the fact that I'm just kind of tired of my job and I just don't like it anymore. You know, in the call center lifestyle, it's very metrics heavy, right? It's all about how long are your phone calls, how often does the person you just spoke to call back, did they leave you a good survey, what's your transfer rate, all that shit. And as a newbie in the industry, you know, it's not that bad to use those metrics as like a benchmark. These archers, by the way, are fucking annoying as hell. Oh my god. You know, the metrics-based system is a good system that you can use to sort of judge your performance and all that kind of shit. But the problem is that the company is so tone deaf to its employees that they enforce these metrics that are very counterintuitive to the job, in my opinion. All right. So, for example, they focus heavily on how long are your phone calls, but they also want you to make sure that your customers are not calling back. So it's a little bit of a contradiction in my mind because they want you to get off the phone as quick as possible. Okay, we're going to buy that. Wait, there was something else I wanted to buy. Yeah, the Arcana shop, which is the purple door. I want to get the enhanced wind slash. So now it has a little bit more of an AoE effect. And I can even get... Oh, those are... Okay, we'll get dragon... Oh, I can't afford it. Shit. Alright. Well, I guess that's it for now. What was I saying? Basically, the metrics are counterintuitive. So, you know, they want you to be on the phone as little as possible, essentially, or they want you to be making sure your calls are not taking too long, but then they also don't want your customers to call back in. So a lot of people, you know, you kind of have to make a choice. Do you want me to make absolutely sure the customer understands everything, right? Do you want me to explain all the different situations for them and teach them everything they need to know? Or do you want me to give them the bare minimum information so that I can hang up the phone as quick as possible and increase the chances of them calling back in, right? And I'm not going to get too inside baseball because a lot of you guys don't really give a shit, but one thing that has really sort of stood out to me as an obvious example of the metrics being counterintuitive, please don't lose the money, okay, good, is the fact that they sort of combine certain metrics in a really stupid way. Like transfer rate, it's understandable, right? If you're an agent at a call center, your transfer rate shouldn't be 30 or 40 or 50% because it indicates you're just transferring all your calls away. I get that. You know, keep your transfer rate low. But what they did was they combined transfer rate with the callback metric. So basically, if you transfer your call to another department, it's the exact same thing as if that customer called back after they talked to you. And to me, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, this is a boss. I actually don't think I've beaten her before, so we're going to just sort of sit around and dodge her attacks for a while. Hit her from far. She's really not that bad. Okay, now I gotta get away. So yeah, like that's just one example of how the metrics sort of are counterintuitive and are set up to make you fail, basically, in my opinion. So after being in this industry for 4 years or 5 years or longer, I don't even really know the exact number anymore. That sucked. You know, it gets to the point where I'm just kind of getting tired of it, but I don't really know what else I want to do. So to bring this entire conversation back in the direction that I wanted to, the smoking weed thing, well, like trying to quit smoking weed while having a job that you hate is a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. Because you end up getting stressed out at your job that you hate. And you know, you still have to go to work. And it just creates these situations where you're stressed out at work and it's kind of annoying. And, you know, you need to fall back on your crutch, at least for me. So, for example, like every single day when I get home from work, the first thing that I do is a couple bowls, right? I get home, smoke a couple bowls to chill out, forget about my work day because it sucks. Every single day sucks to me. There are some people who can, you know, handle it for years and years. And I mean, I have been managing to handle it, but it hasn't been easy. I've been on the brink of being fired a couple times due to attendance or due to just arguing with my manager and, you know, all that kind of shit. So it's sort of, it's a tough thing in life to balance your crutches and try to still be professional in life and still go to work all the time and all that, you know, like, at least for me. It's one of my major problems. So during this past like 6 months or so where I've been incredibly inconsistent on YouTube and how can you do that? You know, I've been incredibly inconsistent on YouTube and trying to start certain projects and then not being able to finish them because I'm just not in the mood or, you know, there's not a lot of motivation. It's just one of the reasons why I've been inconsistent and I'm trying to figure life out. Now, you guys might know that in Canada, weed is becoming legal. October 17th, I believe, is the date where it'll be legal. But people still smoke anyway. So, you know, but the idea was every time I tried to quit smoking weed, I was irate and not fun to be around. So I actually just made the decision that, you know what, I'm not actually going to quit. I'm just not going to. I'm going to try to tone it down, and I'm going to try to be, you know, productive and keep moving forward and try to get some motivation. But the idea is not to quit smoking weed anymore, because whenever I try to do that, it puts me in a bad mindset and it stresses me out, and I'm just not ready to quit smoking weed. So I'm trying to, you know, work around that. And maybe that's unhealthy, but you know what? It makes me happy at the end of the day. And there are certain things that, you know, I think that it's okay to have some vices if it increases your chance of having a happy life. Shearing chain. I don't think I want that. I guess I'll enhance my dash. Oh. So I got 2 decoys now. It's pretty cool. So yeah. So I've been talking a lot about just random shit and not really having any like complete coherent thoughts, but hopefully you guys get the gist of what I'm talking about. And you know, that's sort of what I've been struggling with lately. However, things have taken an upswing recently. One of the things that I have decided to do to help me in just overall life and all that is try to get fit, try to get healthy. And I was thinking about a lot of different things. My wife and I have tried certain things, like doing like workout routines and shit like that, and they can be good, but I think I have finally found the thing that's going to do it for me. And that is biking. When I was a kid, or when I was like 15 or 16 to be more precise. Oops, I wasted that ability. I used to bike everywhere. I lived on a bike. I could bike for like 3 or 4 hours, no problem. I was in really good shape. I was probably in the best shape out of everybody that I knew, because I played football and I did a lot of biking. And it felt good, you know. I had other issues, but still, I was in shape, and that always felt good. All right, I have enough to buy something else here. What should we get? I don't know what any of these things do. That seems defensive. I'm not buying shovels. Let's get the Infinity Marble. That sounds neat. What is this? Signature charge stays active until used. Oh, okay. Well, that might be okay, but probably not that great overall. But I haven't biked at all since I was like 18 or so. Probably even younger than 18, maybe like 16. So I picked up a bike at the local used bike shop and took it out 2 days in a row. My ass was killing me. My legs were killing me. But I got instantly addicted. So much so that it affected my wife as well. She started wanting to do it. And the bike I had bought from the used shop was admittedly kind of a shitty bike. So let's figure out, what do we want? Larger. I've picked that up before, but I don't remember what it does. Let's get the abhorrent cologne. Am I stinky now? Enemies have less health, but enemy damage is increased. Oh god, okay. That's not awful. I just gotta dodge the damage, right? So yeah, the bike that I picked up from the used shop was sort of, you know, it was used, and it was not great. So what we did was we actually just picked up 2 new bikes, and my wife and I are now biking almost every day, and we're increasing the distance and we're increasing the speed, and it's becoming like a regular training regimen, and I love it. Every day I go a little bit further, a little bit faster, and it gives me that feeling of accomplishment. Like, once you have done that kind of thing for the day, then you can do other things and feel better about it, you know? To take a couple steps back, when I was thinking about quitting weed, one of the big reasons was because I would smoke weed and then I would just play video games, right? And I felt like I was kind of wasting my life. I wasn't doing anything. You know, I was trying to make YouTube videos, and I've actually made some money off YouTube, so it wasn't totally worthless. But when I stopped making YouTube videos, I still kept smoking weed, and I kept being unproductive, and I was essentially just wasting my days away. I wouldn't even play video games productively, you know? So now that we have begun biking almost every day, pretty much every day, and not just biking around the block, like we're going, like right now the route is at least 12 kilometers, and we are working on pushing that further and further. And even if we're not going further, we are going faster and faster. So, you know, in general, the leg workout is getting more and more intense over time. And what that means is that if I can do a tough workout, what is this? Perfect Storm. Oh, that's neat. I wonder if... Can I aim that with my mouse? I don't remember though. Like if my mouse is over here and I hit... I don't know. I don't know if I can aim that further away if I was using mouse and keyboard or not. And what is this? Spiked Emergency Kit. Regenerate health while at critically low. Max health is reduced. So that was another cursed one. So my max health is down to 300, but I can regen health if I'm low. Alright, let's keep going. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is now that I am biking every day, it allows me to then come home and then smoke weed and then play video games and still feel accomplished that I went out and did a good workout, you know? And that could be with anything. If you go to the gym and do a full workout, if you go out jogging, you know, if you whatever you like to do, swimming, if you get that done early in the day, then you feel great. And then every single thing that you want to do just for fun is that much more fun because you've earned it. You know, it's a little bit of the same feeling like if you've ever been unemployed for a little while, you know, and you're waiting to find a job and you've applied everywhere, but there's really not much more to do. You know, so you probably just play video games or watch TV or something while you wait for callbacks. But you kind of feel bad about it, right? You're like, I'm a piece of shit. I don't have a job. I'm sitting here playing video games, or I'm wasting my life not getting paid. Then you get that job, you work your 8-hour shift, and you then get home and you feel totally fine to be playing video games all day because, you know, you've earned it. It's the same thing, except I wanted it a little bit more than that. I mean, in general, having a full-time job is something that's pretty much expected of everybody. So, you know, it's not necessarily amazing that you lasted your 8-hour shift, at least, you know, eventually, over a long period of time. Uh-oh, I fell. He's guarding. So now it's like working that 8-hour shift and then doing a bike workout. Yeah, make me shine. 100 gold, do it. Oh, it hurts? I didn't know it was going to damage me. What does my robe do now? I don't know how to check my robe. But apparently I got a new robe. And it damaged me, so now I might die. Anyway, the whole thing that I'm trying to say is now my lifestyle is something that I'm much more happy with. I go to work, I do a workout on the bike, I enjoy the hell out of it, and then I come home and then I can do whatever I want and not feel bad about anything. And now that my life is like that, I've been thinking, well, now that I'm happier, I'm feeling more accomplished, I'm feeling better about myself, what can I do to bring YouTube back, right? Can I fit YouTube in this schedule? Because obviously working and biking takes up time, and the type of schedules I used to give myself for YouTube in the past was kind of a lot. Like I'd be recording like 3 or 4 hours a day sometimes. And you can't really maintain that while doing all this other stuff. I'm lost, if you haven't been able to gather that yet. So, you know, I'm not going to be going back to the same sort of recording schedule that I had before. I'm going to try to keep it much more realistic. And I don't really know what I want to do either, you know? I know I've done things like start talking about how I'm going to do you know, trading card games full time or something like that, and that didn't work. And last night I was having ideas like maybe I'll do roguelites, because right now I'm kind of thinking about playing a bunch of roguelites. I've done that on my channel before. I've done Gungeon and Isaac and some other roguelites, and I do enjoy them. But I know that that type of motivation for roguelites specifically might not last, because my interests are always changing. Sometimes I really want to do iRacing. Other times I end up wanting to do Dark Souls, and then, you know, out of the park baseball and all these different things. My interests keep changing all the time. And that's a problem for YouTube, because YouTube does not reward inconsistency at all. So every time I try to get back into it, I know I've got a couple of you guys who, you know, who like to watch and who leave nice comments, and I always really appreciate that, you know. And I try not to have the mindset of being discouraged by a lack of views on the videos. And that's one of the hardest things, because, you know, deep down I know that if I can get like 10 people watching all my videos and... Uh-oh, hold on. I'm probably gonna die here. Haven't even used half of those abilities, so there we go, that helped. I know that if I could guarantee, or if I knew for sure that there was like 10 people who would be happy to see my videos on a daily basis, then that's all I really need to keep going, right? Fuck, that sucks. But sometimes you look at the videos and they're only getting like, you know, 6 to 8 views, and it's a little discouraging, especially when I used to make videos that would get thousands of views, you know? But that is 100% my fault. And I take 1000% responsibility for that, because I've sabotaged my own channel by being inconsistent, by being a stoner, by, you know, being depressed for a short period of time, and just not really doing what needs to be done to come back. Surefire Rocket, Sinister Ledger, Giant's Heart. That sounds good. Let's get a Giant's Heart. What does that do? Increases max health. Okay, well, I need something to heal. Okay, Greased Boots. I actually already own those. I don't remember exactly what they do. Let's get Sinister. 1 gold away. And we've hit up 1,000 or 100% of the map. So what we can do is we can trigger the boss here. Hopefully beat the boss. I'm getting low on health now. Oh, I thought I died, but he died. Okay, so we got some money now. What is this? Antiquated what? Tabby. Adds a small chance to evade attacks. Oh, that's cool. Were we at the green? Yeah, we were. We were going to get the Sinister Ledger, just to find out what it does. This relic increases all damage for every enemy defeated, but loses effectiveness when taking damage. Oh, okay. I guess that's not terrible. By the way, this is probably one of the best runs I've ever done in this game, so yeah. It's probably not going to last. I don't think I've beaten this boss either. I have beaten the fire boss before, but we'll see. We'll take it carefully here. Alright. Oh shit. Alright. Damn it. No! Ah, fuck. Okay. Well, look, that's probably a good... He won't shut up either if I stay on this screen. You hear him grunting away. But I guess that's kind of long enough. I know my thoughts are incoherent and they're not necessarily put together properly, but the general gist of it is that over the past 6 months to probably even longer than that, I've been struggling to find myself and find a good lifestyle routine that makes me happy, that's good for me, that keeps me at my job and keeps me surviving by making money, and also allows me to keep making YouTube videos or streaming, because I always have that itch all the time, but sometimes the actual motivation to do it isn't always there. So I've been, working on my weed smoking and trying to keep it so that I can still be motivated to do extra stuff in my free time rather than just lounge and do absolutely nothing with all my free time. I'm trying to get active again and be healthy and lose some weight and actually like looking at myself in the mirror. That sounds like overloaded, but to an extent it's true. And then also being able to make videos again. So I don't exactly know what types of videos are going to be coming on the channel, but I will tell you that I'm trying to bring back some more stuff. I'm not setting anything in stone this time. Every time I do that, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and the pressure just makes me want to quit for some reason. It doesn't work for me to do things that way. I remember when I quit smoking cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes for 9 years, and I tried to quit like 5 different times, and I failed all of them. It was because I kept telling people I was quitting. And if you tell people you're quitting, you're sitting there, you're thinking about wanting to smoke a cigarette, and you're like, oh, I told those people I can't smoke. It's like an extra bit of pressure. And for those of you who do smoke cigarettes, probably understand that if you put any sort of extra pressure on yourself while you're trying to quit smoking, it's not going to work. It's not going to help. At least not for me. Maybe some people do thrive on that, but not me at all. And it turns out that that's the same thing even for videos. So if I make a promise like, don't worry guys, you're going to get a trading card video every single day. Well, then one day when I'm not really feeling it, and then I'm like, oh, I kind of have to do it. It's like a chore. And then now I just sort of give up the whole thing, right? So again, I want to try to bring some sort of consistency back to my channel. I'm going to be working on how I can do that. I'm not sure what sort of games I'm going to be playing, and I don't exactly know what I'm going to do, but whatever it is, maybe it'll just be random videos for random different games all the time. Who knows? But I'll try to work on that. You guys let me know what you think. I know Final Fantasy XIV has gotten a lot of views on this channel, and it's sort of my niche. And I've done some StarCraft 2 casting. That's been kind of my niche as well. But, if that's the kind of stuff you want to see, let me know. If you're okay with just a different game every video just for the fun of it, that's okay too. If you like one idea I've had with the roguelikes are cool because they're sort of persistent worlds, right? Like every time you play, you unlock more and more, and you end up getting to the point where you can just do a run in a video, and that's a pretty good idea. I mean, just look at Northern Lion. If you like roguelites, watch Northern Lion. This guy's built his whole life around just making videos of roguelites, and honestly, it looks fun, and it's a cool idea. So I've had, the idea to do that kind of thing before too. Let me know. Just let me know, And I'd appreciate hearing from you guys. Thank you so much if you made it through this whole video. I wasn't exactly sure how long it was going to be, but there you have it. So, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for hearing me out, and I will see you next time.